Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm at Anglia car auctions for their November 2025 classic car auction. Today's video is just a quick one. It's on the Saturday lots, which are generally the slightly cheaper, slightly less good condition cars. And I just had a quick whiz around. My main video from this auction will be on the Sunday lots, which are potentially slightly better condition cars. And that will be following shortly. I'm sure you know the format by now, quite a lot of cars in here, so I'm going to start off looking around some of these, and hopefully the rain will have finished and I'll get outside to look at some of those out there. Very interesting MG RV8 here, and I say interesting because it's no reserve. So in the classic wood coat green colour, which I see the majority of these in, which I really like. Quite an unusual colour for a car, and like almost all of these I seem to see, a Japanese import. So a 1996 car, came to the UK a couple of years after that and has been here since. It's only done about 32,000 miles. It's in okay condition. There are some marks here. Owned for the last 5 or so years by the vendor, who apparently says it's running very well. I think this must have been replaced. It's a Roadster. This hood, I think, must be relatively new. Doesn't say anything about it, but I can't believe that's original. It's too good. But it looks generally really good. And of course, these are V8, 3.5 litre V8. I think they were 190-ish horsepower. And actually, you know, this doesn't seem in bad condition for a no reserve car. Really quite nice. Now, it's interesting because I don't see many of these no reserve. They're generally guided at least mid to high teens, sometimes into the early 20s. And I'd say it's pretty hit and miss whether they actually sell or not. So the market will dictate the price of this because it's no reserve, and that will be a very interesting barometer. It looks pretty good in here. Quite a worn gear knob. But the veneer and dash look very good. I really like this Rover P5. This is 1962, and it looks in really good condition. Unfortunately, very many ropey ones of these around at the moment. This looks excellent. Apparently had a professional structural restoration back in, I think, 1988. It's showing 45,000 miles. Paintwork looks really pretty good for the age. I can see some very minor surface rust underneath, not quite, I haven't grovelled around. I think it's only surface rust on components, the leaf springs, for example. And there's a bit of rust showing through on the rear, under the chrome work, but nothing major. And so many of these are now in, I think, pretty poor condition, to be honest. And so I think this, guided at £6,000 to £8,000, is actually a pretty good buy. It's a lovely old car, and it has a wonderful old leather smell in here. I have to say, no dampness or anything, just a beautiful old leather smell. It's a bit dirty, and obviously there's quite a lot of patina on the seats, as you'd expect. I can see some rosettes in there, which presumably from showing the car. Yeah, nice old car. And apparently has paperwork going all the way back to the 60s as well. Yeah, a bit of rust around the arch. As I say, if I grovelled around, I may see it a bit worse. But what I've seen seems relatively superficial. I think that's just been over-polished a bit, some remaining polish. Triumph VITESSE here, 1967. Based on the Herald, I believe they did start with a 1.6 engine. This is 2 litre inline 6, which I think the vast majority were. Not much comes with this car in terms of paperwork. Apparently did have a refurbishment before the current vendor got it in 2014, and it looks pretty good. I mean, the paintwork certainly isn't perfect, but I'd say it looks very good for a car like this. And remember, of course, this is guided at only £4,000 to £6,000. I mean, that's so cheap, really, for a good-looking classic. Well, I suppose looks are subjective, but I really like these. Got the all-important 2 litre badge. Yeah, nice looking car. Interior looks pretty decent as well. Although I haven't looked in huge details, it does look very good. Small tear on the seat, but in general, very nice. Yeah, I think that's a good buy at that price. So I think Evos can split opinion. I always really like them, just because they were around when I was growing up and impressionable in my teens. Evo 6, this one, 1999, Japanese import. This was the first model that actually started coming to the UK through RELIANT, and famous, of course, because it was the era of probably the most famous Evo ever, the Evo 6 Tommy Mackinnon edition, special edition. This is just a standard one. It looks in okay condition. It's only on about 50,000 miles. Wheels look excellent, but some rust, not just on the discs there, and little bits of damage everywhere, nothing too major. Light's very poor, but quite a major scrape there. Discoloration around these window trims. This is guided 15 to 18,000 pounds. I think that's a bit too strong money for the condition, and it's not a special edition like a RS, Tommy Mackinnon, of course, which would, of course, be worth a lot more than that. But I'm not quite sure it's going to make that. So it's got the classic aftermarket, huge, great JDM style exhaust. And it looks as though it's had some other modifications as well. These stickers often peel off here. Not quite clear what mods it's had. Clearly, at least that. I don't know whether that's been replaced, but there's not quite a lining there. But it's got a boost gauge in here, so I would imagine some kind of engine modifications at least. It's got an XED clutch recently put in, or a few years ago, and a lightened flywheel, again suggesting some maybe significant engine modifications. This isn't done the best, if I'm honest. The finish, it's got an aftermarket gear knob, and the bolsters are, to be honest, fairly worn, this part of the seat. They do tend to wear quite badly, these Evos, this era Evo. And some discoloration here on the door. So yeah, I still love these. I don't think this one's personally in quite good enough condition to get that 15 to 18. So that looks like a larger front mount intercooler as well. So clearly had quite a lot of engine work, I guess. Well, I am braving the rain for you. It never rains at Anglia auctions, but it is today. So loads of SLs here this weekend, absolutely tons. R107s, R129s, R230s. Obviously here's a 129, this is a 1992, it's a SL, it's a 300 SL, sorry. So the older one still had a straight 6 before moving to the V6 later on. This is very high miles. It's 160 odd thousand. But it comes with a very long MOT, which is always good news on an old car, and comes, that's just dirt, without having had an advisory on an MOT for the last 10 years, which is quite incredible, actually. I mean, at £4,000 to £5,000, if you want an entry-level 129 SL, this isn't too bad. There are some scrapes, not good, by the way, to view cars in the rain, but I have no choice. There's definitely some car park dings down that door. But inside, I mean, for the mileage, this is really warmed pretty well. A slight musty smell in here, I must say, and some discoloured leather on the centre armrest there. But actually, a really nice looking car for that high mileage. I think that's pretty good. 2002 MG ZS 180 here. So the 180 signifying the 180 horsepower from the 2.5 litre V6. This is in really nice condition. It's also no reserve. The vendors owned it a few years and did quite a lot of major engine items, the belts, plugs, etc. These do rust fairly horrendously, I would say, underneath. I also wonder if this was the one that was in previously or not. Perhaps not. Sorry, I can't remember all the cars. But this looks in very good condition for one of these. And I really like them. I like them in this colour. I like the design. Can't remember if I said the mileage, but it's about 92,000, which isn't so bad. So inside looks all right, generally good, but obviously this driver's seat bolster is pretty worn. But a nice, no reserve car. Could be one of the cheapest 205 GTIs that you see. This is 1989, it's a 1.9. But you can see the bonnet's ajar, and that's usually a sign there's an issue with it starting. And it does say that this one will require some recommissioning. Not quite clear to me what exactly it needs, but it sounds like some kind of engine-related mechanical recommissioning will definitely be required. But guided at about £6,000 to £7,000, that's a fairly significant scrape there. It is high mileage, 145,000 miles, and I do find when I look at these just do not wear very well inside. You know, this is quite normal to see a fair amount of wear, and just generally looking slightly tatty in these. They, in my opinion, don't seem to age so well in the interiors compared with some other cars. But as I say, could be a very cheap GTI. A nice looking Rover 825 here, 1999. I do have a soft spot for these. This is not perfect. It's been owned by the vendor for about 6 years. He's only put about 1,500 miles on. He did change the timing belt as soon as he got it. And this is no reserve. So could be a pretty good buy this, I reckon. 2.5 litre V6 in these. And it looks in pretty good condition. Very hard to find good ones of these nowadays. That's interesting. I'm not entirely sure. I am supposing this exhaust was rusty. You can see some evidence of rust, and someone's just very badly spray painted this. Yeah, I can only assume that's what happened, which isn't a good sign. Is this the one that was in last time? I can't remember. Let me know if you recognise this as the 825 that was in last time. That's a shame, because that's just a bit careless, really, to spray it that badly, I'm afraid to say. It's a little bit dirty and worn in here, but considering the age, I don't think that's too bad. These are a pretty good spec. Well, for a Rover, I should perhaps say. I mean, I love a Rover. My first car I bought with my money, my own money, was a Rover. Automatic. Yeah, nice car, no reserve. Just a shame about that exhaust spraying. There are a couple of old Granadas here. I forget how big these are. They look pretty good, I think, now. This is a 3 litre. It's an automatic, 1974. Apparently used to be gold. Changed to white, obviously. And it's in average condition. This roof is particularly dodgy. Yeah, that's not in a good state, to be honest with you. I expect when it's not raining, it would look even worse. Oh dear, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's not in a great state. This is guided at £4,000 to £6,000. I mean, I don't know, I'm not sure it's going to make that. You know, quite a bit of rust down here. It's such a shame. I think they're great looking cars. Shows only 21,000 miles. I'm not sure if that's correct. Apparently has some issues with indicators and lights. A nice blue interior. It shows quite a bit of discoloration. And look at this old school dash. Wood in these is just not good quality, I'm afraid. So yeah, interesting. I think that might struggle, to be honest. Just too many things wrong with it. 1963 Ford Cortina CONSUL here. Not in the best condition. Quite a lot of rust coming through, £5,000 to £6,000. You know, there's kind of holes and very significant rust here. All over, I'm afraid to say. So I think this one will probably struggle. Apparently got very low ownership, interesting stories behind it, but look at this, oh dear, yeah. I mean, this is just rotting away underneath. I'm afraid I don't think that's worth very much at all in that state, which is very sad to say. You know, lovely little cars and looks pretty good in there. But you know, who's going to buy this for £5,000 to £6,000? I don't know. I suppose someone who hasn't seen it. Sorry, I'm not meaning to sound rude, but this is, you know, it is really, really rotten under here. I mean, look at this. Okay, you probably can't see, but trust me, this is just rotting away. So I'm afraid, in my opinion, you know, well, clearly one to avoid, but the rust this is not salvageable. Without spending tens of thousands of pounds, which no one will be willing to do on a car like this, I don't think. So, you know, unfortunately, these are almost write-off cars that become valueless to a point. I can't see it making anywhere near £5,000. We're in the Automobilia auction, so bear with me with the noise. Lovely Reliant Scimitar here. I do like these. This is a GTE, so the estate, there was a GT and they did a GTC convertible. Started life, I think, with the 2.6 old Zephyr engine. This, of course, had moved up to the Essex V6 by this point. There's some, I don't know what that is, almost like glue on here and some minor damage up there. But a nice looking car. And I do really like these. I think they're good value as well now. It's got the optional overdrive, you can see. Then we go on to 340. Is a large scale, vintage style car. I think there are quite a lot more manuals of these than autos. Sorry, quite a lot more autos in these than manuals, or at least that's what I see. This is a manual. Interior looks pretty good. 1974 had a new Essex, or new old Essex V6 3-litre in there just a few years ago, 2019 I think, at a cost of a couple of £1,000. You know, it's only done apparently 45,000 miles. I think at £4,000 to £6,000, that's a lovely little classic. So that was just a quick whiz around the Saturday lots from ACA this weekend. Just a quick video. As I said, my main video will be from the Sunday lots, which tend to be better condition. They're also a bit more space to look around them actually, so when you're making videos it's quite hard to do it because the Saturday lots tend to be crammed in a bit more. They can also be less good condition, as perhaps you saw from a couple of those fairly rusty Fords, let's say. I was quite surprised, in fact, how much those two Fords I featured made. Didn't quite seem worth it in my opinion, but there you go. So yeah, my main video will be some better quality cars from the Sunday lots coming very soon, so please check that out and thank you very much for watching.